Let's go.
Here's everyone. It's Texas on Tap with Miss Helen and producer Kyle. Hey,
Hey,
it's
hey.
almost the end of March. How about
Yeah,
that?
it's crazy how fast it's flying by.
I
It's
know.
it's also weird. I just saw you in person like a couple days ago, so it's nice
Oh,
to see you.
that
I
was
mean,
so fun. That was
yeah.
so fun, and we have got to do that so much more often.
And we're thinking about it. I think we're gonna figure something out and make something happen this summer. So stay tuned for some more info on that.
Yeah, we're gonna try to figure it out. I'm gonna try to do my best. I've already been brainstorming venues, so yeah, just putting it out there for everybody. Like, you want us to come out, bring some entertainment. We got this, and we have a good time. It was
Yeah,
really, I just loved it. I mean, like, it was just nice walking around visiting. Your family was there, part of my family was there. Oh my gosh, it was so fun.
and
So
thanks to everybody
anyway,
who was there and came out and hung out with us. It was a whole lot of fun. And thanks to Charlie and Paige and Rich for coming out and playing.
mm-hmm,
We had a blast.
mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit more about some of that later. So,
Cool.
wow, we have some really good picks for this week going out to radio and out to streaming.
We do. You want to do streaming or radio first?
Do we need to go back to flipping that coin? Because I really don't.
Well, you've
I'll
you've
go
been
ahead.
decisive lately, so
Yeah,
just
I'll go
you
ahead
have
and
a bit.
jump in. You know what this reminds me of? It's kind of like whenever you had to stand up and do a book report in school. It was like if you were prepared, you're like raising your hand
Oh
first.
yeah, you
Not,
want to
it
get
was
it out of
like,
the way. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so let's talk about radio releases. Cameron James Smith, this is his fourth radio release. We've talked about, I think, every one of his radio releases. This one is fun, just phenomenal. It's called Burn Holes in Our Boots. And the whole concept behind this, it's not necessarily going to the dance hall or going to the nightclub and dancing. It's the coolest thing ever. It's like finding that secret place out in the middle of the country and using your headlight glow and Take It Fast, Take It Slow is in there. Soaking Up the Neon Moon, another really cool, catchy lyric that's in there. Midnight Two Step to a Kicks and Ronnie tune. So yeah, and it just starts out and on top of all that, it's wrapped up with a great bow with the sound. It's so smooth. It's got a strong intro. It's got that 90s country kind of vibe to it. And Cameron's all of his music is awesome. And I do want to mention this because I did go through and listen to he has a 5-song EP that came out the first of the month entitled Silveradios.
Mhm.
And that was five, and that song's on it. And five, all of them are just solid, like
Yeah.
super good. So Cameron James Smith, you'll be hearing it on your favorite Texas country stations. Burn holes in our boots. Now we're going to open the tap room door for Ty Smith and the Minor Offenses. This is Words I Should Have Said. Words I should have said. Ty's come a long way. He has full band now. Of course, he's a whole 15 years old. And I know if you're freaking out if you didn't know that about Ty. We've had him on the podcast, but some really good twist of lyrics and a message in that song. But more importantly, I enjoyed every beat, every sound of it, his voice, the band combined. It's just he did a great job on that. So that's out to Texas Country Radio.
Yeah, and I think if I had to guess, I think it's the minor offenses, like a charge, not necessarily like an offense on a sports team. You know what I mean? It reads the same, but I imagine he's probably talking about
The
minor
minor
because he's a kid. Because he's
offenses.
a
Yes,
kid.
the
Yeah.
offenses.
But that
Excuse
song's
me,
as red.
y'all.
No, you're
Thanks
good.
for
That
that
song's about as
correction.
red dirt
Because
as it gets. I think it's a
I
lot of
know
fun,
for
man. He's
sure, for
experimenting with all
sure.
kinds of different musical things, and it's really cool just to see him grow. You know, he's
Hmm.
proven himself as a songwriter already at such a young age, and now they're doing this whole instrumental thing or instrumentation thing, and it's pretty sweet to
Hmm.
hear it all kind of come to
Yes,
fruition.
it is.
Okay, and then we will jump into my tap room pick of the week, and this is a brand new artist to me. I'm super stoked about it. His name's Connor Stevens, and the song's called "Hanging On." I was immediately drawn in by the vocal on the melodies on these songs. His voice sounds amazing. It almost like his voice almost breaks up like an old tube amp for like guitar nerds out there. Like you know exactly what I mean by that. And it was just so pleasing to hear that. Honestly, I took a ton of notes, but it's like all I'm thinking is who is this dude? Why don't I know who he is? Like why didn't I know about this
Okay.
already?
Same
Do you know
same
about
thing
him?
here. No, I don't. And I did some
Okay.
research. I know he's from the Austin area and he's just been putting out music for like me last few years. Now prior to that, I don't know. But all I in my mind was it's just pro. It's like if you're gonna like if you had to pick a song like to go to a country dance competition, like I would pick that song. It's
Literally,
just
yeah.
that strong. I mean,
I mean,
it's just awesome.
it was unreal. Like I was listening to it thinking like, am I ever gonna get past how good his vocals are in these lyrics? And then finally when I was able to, I realized like the production and the instrumentation was just so phenomenal. It had like every element of a country song, B3, steel, you know, that spanking telly guitar solo, the way everything was blended and mixed in there was perfect. And I don't know, even that outro chant where they were just singing the same line and it like
Hmm.
faded out. Ah, it was just chef's
It's
kiss.
very it's
Good
very
shit,
good.
Connor
So
Stevens.
tell everybody the name and title again of the song so they can
Yeah,
go look it up.
absolutely. Connor Stevens, and the song's called "Hanging On," and go check out the rest of his stuff too. It's I'm gonna have to make an effort to catch a show because that's one of the best songs I think I've heard definitely this year and in a long time. It's really stood out to me, and I hope that song's out to radio or gonna go out to radio because it'll climb fast.
Sure enough.
Next up, my last pick for the week is our friends Kin Faux just put out a new one to streaming, and I don't do you, is this one going to go out to radio? Do you know?
Yes, it was the e-blast
Oh,
went
but I
out
beat you
yesterday
to it.
morning. But you know what? It's already gotten spins. It was like on
Oh,
when CD
okay.
Extraction Texas came out the other day,
Immediately.
it was already showing up on the report.
Mm,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I thought they knocked it out of the park with this one. It's like you know, it's ballady, it's catchy, it's heartwarming. The descriptive lyrics in the verses like that almost had me thinking of like people and places and things in my own life, like trying to put myself in that spot.
Well, saying that, I put myself on the front porch with my grandparents because it starts out with that chain link chain link porch swing and
Mm,
watching the sun swap out watching the moon swap out the sun. Anyway, yeah. It's like all things weathered. I love the line about the laugh lines on Granny's face. And I think this kind of sums up a lot of the meaning of the song. You can't put a price on it. It can't be measured. Those
yeah.
weathered things. Those, yeah.
Absolutely. And then the whole like punchy dynamics and the builds and stuff instrumentally throughout the song just added this whole level of like drama that just made everything hit so much harder. Also, if you guys are listening, Kinfo dudes, y'all got to start a weathered merch line.
Oh, yeah.
You
That's
got to do it.
true. Yeah,
Just
because I mean,
drive up and down the street over some shirts or something.
old wallets.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, great song. Everyone's gonna enjoy that one. I'm sure it's gonna blow up.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, before we keep going with this thing, let's talk about More Than Music Creations. You can head over to morethanmusiccreations.com, check out everything that they've got to offer. And we did a little giveaway of a nice piece that Michaela made for us at our show last week. And we got to keep it in the family, actually. So that was awesome. Just coincidentally, we did a raffle and raffled off some stuff. And Helen's daughter won the award or the piece that was made specifically for the show.
Yes,
So
she
she's
did.
the only one who will ever have that.
I know, and it's perfect. Yeah, she was really excited, really happy about that. She's supposed to send us a picture because I didn't get a picture
Ah, okay.
of her
Yeah,
holding
but
the win.
it was
Yeah.
very nice, and
Anyway.
we talked to everybody at the show about it, and everybody really seemed to enjoy it and
Hmm.
enjoyed or appreciates what More Than Music Creations exists for and why, and kind of the benefits of shopping with them rather than shopping with all the major brands and stuff. And a couple people were excited and wondering like whose guitar strings are these, and
I
I had
know.
never really thought about it like that, but that's kind of interesting when you're buying like the Texas Toast line or stuff that's not directly like from one of the artist lines. It's like, wow, are these Randy's guitar strings? It's pretty neat.
Hmm.
So go
Oh,
check
who
them
could
out.
it be? Yes, morethanmusiccreations.com. Have you ever wondered how artists like Treaty Oak Revival, Red Clay Strays, and Aaron Watson maintain the high quality and high demand for their merchandise? CH Lone Star Promo is the answer. Created in Texas to serve Texas artists, and they're currently offering 15% off on all merch orders from musicians. Visit chlonestarpromo.com to get started and tell them Texas Toast sent you.
I was reading the other day that it takes at least $1 million to break an artist. That's a ton of change, and it can feel overwhelming. But with social media leveling the playing field, you just need an effective strategy to release your music. Check out Release Rocket to ensure your single does not die after release day. You've already put time, effort, and tons of money into writing and recording your album. Let the guys at Release Rocket keep your new release alive.
So, popping and topping on the charts for this week, Randy Rogers takes over the #1 position on the Texas Regional Radio Report from 4 to 1 with I Won't Give Up. And Mike Ryan made a big move on that chart as well, from 4 to 10. I mean, from 10 to 4. I'm
Mm.
sorry. So I did notice that. CD Extraction Texas #1 this week is Cody Jinks with Outlaws and Mustangs. And really, there's some exciting stuff going on that chart. They're kind of getting backed up on them top 10. I guess they'll
Mhm.
make some breakthrough there. I like when it does that. And then on the Texas Country Music Report this week, Caitlin Bunt's Hut You Down. It debuted in the top 100 at 39. Just saying.
Wow.
Not surprised. We're not surprised at all.
Yeah.
And The Great Divide held on for the third week in a row at #1 with Set It All Down on the Texas Country Music chart.
Man,
Yeah.
it's crazy
So
out there.
there's yeah, a lot of good music out there,
Hmm.
and it's that time of the year where the fun stuff is really coming out.
You're really getting started, yeah. And Jared Morris has been dropping single after single, and he dropped another one today. I think it's called Glory, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or something along those lines. So go check that out. Silverado dropped the second single off their upcoming
I saw that. Yes, I
self-titled. So
did. Hmm.
it's all coming. Like you said, it's that time of year. T3R awards are this week, and we can talk about that a little bit. So it's kind of like feels like that award show is the kickoff of just the madness every year, along with spring break and March Madness and all that stuff, and then
You're
and
right,
then
though. T3R, yeah.
this TCMA's kind of
Always,
are the winding down.
I always have a big time there, and everybody knows. Yes, I do have a big time. I let my hair down when I go to T3R. Y'all are
Mhm.
gonna miss out on talking about me this year because I'm not gonna be there. Because
Yeah.
we like to all get on that lounge area, that couch area, and that carpet area at the Sheraton afterwards, and it's so cool because you never know who's gonna show up on the couch with a guitar and just start singing.
Mm.
And yeah, we always have a good time there. But they have a lot of awards, a lot of people to honor, lots of entertainment. So that's a yearly event that's a big deal. We were oh, did you get okay, totally changing the subject now, kind of jumping back. It's one of those days, right?
Oh yeah.
Uh, talking about my daughter winning the jewelry. Did you see the video I sent you
Which one? You sent me a
with
lot.
her playing games with Orbit at her school?
Oh yeah, that was so cool.
It was so fun. She said to
Yeah.
explain, she had to hold like this chest thing, and it was Velcro, and
Mm.
Orbit would throw it. And she said, I guess I need to budget better tennis balls next year in my gym. She said because all the tennis balls were wore out that he was throwing for her to put.
Mm.
So she had to improvise and like catch
Catch
him and
them.
roll him to keep him on the board. Yeah,
Oh,
so that was so
that
fun.
was cool. Was that something that she
Yeah.
arranged, or was that like an outreach program?
I guess it's, they go around to the schools and do like that outreach where they come and talk to the
Yeah.
kids.
Wow, that's so
And
cool.
the only thing she said was, and of course, she's obsessed with mascots. She was a cheerleader and always wanted to be the mascot, but
Mhm.
there was always that person that it really fit them better. And like, she got to dress up as a mascot for something last year. I can't remember what it was. And she just, I mean, like, seriously, like, Kyle, you have no idea. That's a big deal for her.
Mm.
And so mascots are a big deal. So it was a big deal for her to be able to like play around with Orbit. That was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that's very cool.
So yeah, so that's
Fun
another thing.
stuff.
Baseball time. Hey,
Yeah,
are
it's ready.
you're and then another thing been meaning to ask you, you're going to be in the path of the solar eclipse, right? In Austin?
Well, yeah, I guess we're close. I think Fredericksburg is like right in the middle of it, and we were talking
Uh-huh.
about potentially going. When is that again? That's like the first week of April.
April, yeah, like April 4th or April 7th, something like. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I
first
can't
week of
remember.
April.
I know we're doing something for that, but I don't know that kind of thing. I'm realizing how silly this sounds. I was about to say, that's science stuff, but
I know, right?
that's just not really my forte. But no, we've got some friends who are really excited about it, and we're gonna go check it out. I think we were talking about driving over to Fredericksburg because that's supposed to be like 100% right in the line there. But Austin's supposed to
Uh,
be pretty close, so it should be cool.
I mean, I think you should see something. I mean, I don't know what it'll be like here, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's just pretty. I mean, like they're letting school out in those zones where it's going to
yeah,
be, yeah, and there's music festivals going on also.
hmm
Have you been
hmm
seeing some of those pop up?
yeah.
Yeah.
Just like all the crazy little events, and I mean, on top of that, just music festivals in general and like shows and stuff. We were talking about
Hmm.
Hayden Baker's CD release. That's gonna be crazy, and then Cattle Country's that weekend, and
Yes,
it's just
yes. I
Texas
didn't
is
even
going
realize
hard.
I have some really good friends of ours that we fish with. They're actually involved in that festival. I didn't even know. And Richard called Ron the other night. As a matter of fact, he called Ron the night we were having the birthday bash.
Oh wow.
And then he obviously then he called back the next day and said, "Oh, we forgot. Why don't y'all come and run
Mm-hmm.
up here to Gonzales?" And I was like, I think I'm gonna commit to going
Yeah,
to see,
Hayden.
yeah,
We could do
Hayden
both.
and
It's a
Trent.
couple days. That thing's crazy. It's like
Mm.
Co-Wetzel and Eric Church, right? Like huge. Maybe not
Yeah,
Eric
Shane
Church,
Smith
but
and the Saints, Whiskey
yeah.
Myers, Tanya Tucker. I mean,
You got to go see your girl
tons.
Tanya.
I would love to.
You should
You
go.
know, I'm obsessed with Tanya Tucker. I love her so much. Like,
Yeah.
that lady is just, oh,
Well, that's
amazing.
on the
Love her
way. Come,
music.
because Hayden's playing what? That's Friday night, right?
No, that's on Saturday night.
Are you sure?
That's a Yes, I'm positive because Saturday night was a night they wanted us to come because they're really busy with the festival. Friday, they said Saturday we'll have time to
Ah.
spend with you. So
But I'm
I
pretty sure
guess I
Friday.
don't
I'm
know. I
pretty.
could be wrong. Could be
Hayden's show
wrong.
is Friday night, so you're gonna come to Hayden's show, and then you're gonna go out to Cattle Country on Saturday.
So it's the 12th.
The 12th is Friday. Yep, and I know that because I'm playing a wedding that day in spring, and then I'm gonna come over to Hayden's, and then the next day I have a gig in Houston on the
Okay.
Saturday.
All right. Well, there I go. Okay. Thanks
You got a
for
full
keeping me
weekend now.
organized. Thanks for keeping me organized on that. Jeez.
Yeah, no
Jeez,
worries.
that's terrible.
Yeah, check out Cattle
Okay.
Country if you guys don't know what we're talking about. It's just another new massive festival in Texas. You know, it's like we had. I mean, I'm gonna miss a ton, but there's that huge one in Georgetown that's coming up on year 2 or maybe year 3 this summer. Cattle Country. This is the first one ever. They've got Biggest
Hmm.
Texas coming up in May and
Big
Montgomery.
as Texas.
God, big ass
Yes.
Texas festival. It's gonna be crazy. So get out to
Hmm.
a festival. I mean, more importantly, go look at your local. I went over this place in right outside of Magnolia, I think, the other day called Henry's Hideout and talked with Texas Music Reviews and another podcast called the Red Dirt Aggie Show. And it was super fun, awesome, like historic old honky tonk. They like were joking saying they were the real second oldest dance hall in Texas or whatever. But this is a you would have freaked out. It was like a historic wood building, beautiful dance hall. Somebody just recently went in there and renovated it and reopened it, and
Oh, I
they're
would
doing
love to
shows,
see
and
that.
it's
Is that
so sweet.
what's their names? The Texas Music Reviews guys? Is that
Yeah,
where
that's where they
they're
record at.
silly. They're
Yeah,
silly.
not
How did that go?
it was
I've meant to
fun.
bring that up because you've been like on tour now. I wonder you're losing your voice.
Talking too much, yeah.
You've had 100 interviews like the last week or so,
Yeah.
and like talkie, and like they talk for a long time on those
Well,
podcasts.
it's funny though that you say that because we talked a lot, but their episodes are short. They're only like 10 minutes, and that one came out today, so you can go check it out. And I'm gonna share it on our podcast feed too, like our audio feed.
Mhm.
And then man, I
Oh,
talked.
how did it go with Jeff Canada?
It was great. We talked for like 3 hours. We talked for
See, I
a
knew it.
long
Okay,
time.
I wish I would have bet money on that because I said three. I called it. That's
Yeah.
why I told you I meant it in a funny way when you said I'm fixing to get out and go on Jeff Canada's podcast. I was like, bless your heart. Because Kyle, I know you like to talk, but you're
Yeah.
like me when it comes to when it's time to go to bed, like I'm just going. And like
Mm.
Kyle, y'all, like when he decides he's through talking, it's like, okay, we're through. I thought he's gonna go 3 hours with Jeff Canada.
That's funny.
Holy heavens,
Well,
that's
I
gonna be
had to,
crazy.
we probably would have kept going, but I had to get out of there and go. My girlfriend was having this kind of happy hour thing for her work we're in Conroe for this week, and I told her I'd be there, so I actually had to cut it off. Who knows how long we would have kept going?
Going on 6 hours.
Crazy.
Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
good old Jeff, like Jeff.
He's great. Yeah, I had a blast. Shelton actually hung out and joined the podcast, so he's on there talking about fun stuff, and we just kind of get into all kinds of crazy shit. So it was fun. And like you said, I've been on radio tour. We shot a music video yesterday in downtown Conroe. I'm playing a show tonight in downtown Conroe, which obviously we're recording this on Thursday. So if you're listening, you've missed it. I'm sorry. But Conroe Crossroads Festival, that's another festival that's been going on for a long time. That's happening in Conroe this weekend. I think tonight, which is Thursday, Chad Cook, Jake Bush are playing. I know Jared Morris is playing at some point this weekend. So if you're in Conroe, get out to that. It's awesome. It's all the
I
different
would.
venues, all walkable. Super cool. Downtown Conroe is turning into something awesome. I think I don't know if you've been over there lately, but it's freaking
Not
sweet.
downtown. Maybe about 3 years
There are
ago.
so many
Maybe.
cool little music venues, like awesome bars, outdoor stages, like just all kinds of cool stuff going on over there.
See,
So
that's cool. It's
yeah,
cool little places like that. And and of course Conroe's blown up so much, but to have that nice quaint area there.
right.
And
It
then
still
that's like
feels like an old town.
yeah. Like how they have in Palestine. Like you can walk around all those
Right.
places and there's music and there's food
Well,
and yeah.
could you imagine if Belleville, it's like 2 times Belleville, the size of that thing down there. But could you imagine if Belleville had 5 music venues on that square? No
Wow.
way, right? But that's what it feels
No.
like in Conroe. It's like every other place is a bar with a stage. It's really cool. I think they're doing some cool stuff down there. So
That's super cool.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you look at that whole area, like Conroe, Magnolia, Willis, the Woodlands, all in there,
Mm.
and if you were to take roll of the Texas artists that we have coming out of there
Oh,
that have
everybody's
previously
so
come and
many.
coming out, it's a hub. It's really
Oh yeah.
becoming a hot spot for music.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Parker and Cody had a lot to do with that, but that they've inspired a lot of people in that area to start pursuing stuff. I know a
Mhm.
couple young kids that I worked with a couple years back at a pizza place, that are both really grinding it out right now. Kind of they're both older than Ty Smith, but grinding it out Ty Smith style as teenagers right now, really trying to make a break. So
Whoa, that's
it's
cool.
cool. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, we could ramble forever. Anything else
I
important we need to
know.
talk about?
See, nope, that's it.
Nope.
Rest your voice.
Well, yeah, I gotta
No talkie
sing
for
for
an hour
2 hours
so.
tonight.
No talkie.
Okay, well, I'm
Okay.
gonna talk a little bit more and tell you guys, remind everybody who's listening that we love you and we appreciate your support. And if you like what we're doing, share us with a friend, share us with anybody that likes country music. Who the Texas Music Reviews guys said this, and I thought it was hilarious. But if you have any friends who have bad taste, send them our way because we'll show them some good music. But just keep sharing, keep liking. There's been lots of interaction on Facebook and Instagram lately, so we appreciate that. And just keep it up. It all really, really helps kind of get the word out and just expose us to a wider audience. So that's why we're here.
Right. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.